I heard the click.
Yes. The advantage of having a separate mouse. It gives a click. Who gives a click?
That's what they say in Swahili. Or is it Afrikaans?
Not sure if racist or not.
To be pondered on another time. So,
yes.
we'll do this as take 2.
Beep, beep. Let's try again.
AKA, this time Olaf's going to back his fucking work up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glorious! No, I won't give in till I'm victorious. And I will defend.
So this is going to be a redo of what we did last time because the recording software decided, much like an internet doggo meme, that it wanted to balk.
We suffered some technical difficulties. Meaning we lost a lot of stuff. So welcome to the listeners for the first time to our conversations, and we'll try and insert as much vim and vigour as we had in the first time round.
We will try and ease you in to whatever it is we do. I mean, what went wrong was your half of the conversation just disappeared.
Just complete silence, yeah.
And I mean,
I still think we should have uploaded your half and just had it as like an interactive podcast. So people who are listening at home could just like wait for you to stop talking, and then they could start talking as if they're taking part in the conversation with you. And then you could cut them off with funny jokes.
Inverted commas.
Insert their own laugh track. It'll be great.
Yeah, that could be quite a good idea. I mean, we'll toy with that idea, like a cat toys with a mouse.
Yeah, it's still there. We could just do 5 minutes of it.
Yeah, just like use that as a tester. I mean, like, David Cage, the video game director. Where would he be if he hadn't just been?
If he doesn't experiment with stuff.
Yeah. Like, here you go, Fahrenheit.
Well, there you go. I think he'd probably be in a much happier place because it seems that he just wants to make movies, not games. Because all he does is he makes an animated movie, but with QuickTime events in it.
Yeah,
and for the ability for you to look around his pretty environments.
He wants a movie where you can use your DVD remote to go. I want that one.
What he basically wants is a Wii-based point-and-click game. Go over there. No, go over there. No, go over there.
Go to the... Go. Bloody... Oh. Anyway, so the original conceit of this episode was going to be...
I was going to add another Q sound. I was going to go with question. Concept, conceit, and question. But okay. Yeah, it's a Q, not a K.
Yeah, I mean, phonetically...
phonetically it works. And this being primarily an oral interaction.
Title of your sex tape.
Yes. Primarily an oral interaction. Yeah. I'll take it. And so will she.
Hey. Oh, lads.
Sorry, I interrupted. Please, carry on.
Well, it was going to be all about first crushes. I feel a little bit dirty talking about that now. But, that's... As I'm sure our fathers said to our mothers, let's just plough on and see what happens.
Yeah, you're not shying away from this one. Great. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, crushes. Okay.
So there may be a lot of me and perhaps you saying, so what I remember from when we recorded this before. And so, yeah, from what I remember from when we recorded this before, my very, my first crush, as it were, the first time I noticed girls it definitely wasn't a sexual way, but it was just like, I recognise there is some kind of attraction. Like, there's something about this person that Makes me feel funny. Not that kind of funny, because I'm only 10, and it's a bit weird.
You kind of buried the lead on that one, didn't you?
Mm.
You said So was it when you were 10?
Yes, I think it was. I'm trying to think, because it was as I mentioned before on the cast. So I had the joy of the middle school. So it was. I had 4 years in first school, and then 5, 6, 7, 3 years in middle school, and then the rest in the upper. So I must have been 9. Because you're 5 when you start first school.
Yes. So
So
you
it
basically
was the last
add 5
year.
to-
It was the
add
last
5 to the year you're in.
last year of first school. So when I was in year 4, so it must have been about 9, and it was a young. I say young. She was the same age as me. She was in the same year. A girl by the name of Amy Rooney. I assume related to neither Mick nor Wayne.
Well, was she from Liverpool?
I
That's the only
believe
one
not.
of those Roonies I know. Well, there you go. Probably not.
You
then,
don't
no.
know Mickey Rooney?
Don't think so.
It was in a Simpsons episode. That would probably be the most logical area that I could think you'd remember him from. You know, the where Milhouse becomes Fallout Boy?
Right, yeah.
Jiminy Jillikers.
Yeah, it doesn't... okay. So who's the guest actor on Simpsons? But I don't know. Yeah, I still know who he is.
As a thespian, I think you should feel disappointed that you do not know famed star of stage and screen, Mickey Rooney.
You only know him from The Simpsons.
I know him from more than that. He was also in Night at the Museum.
Maybe stick with The Simpsons then.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the first time that I ever...
What was it about young Amy Rooney that caught your attention?
I would be lying if I said I could remember exactly. I believe it was just like, oh, she is pretty. I think I like her. But she was also kind of the focal point of every young male's attention, really. She was like the hot one of the first school.
Of the first school, she was the hot one.
Out of context, this is a horrible conversation. Like, this is being put on a register kind of conversation.
Yeah, it's a bit strange.
But it's obviously in the context of the thing. It was how I felt as a 9-10-year-old boy. I was attracted to a 9-10-year-old girl, as is perfectly normal,
as is usual.
Yeah,
surely.
And from what I remember from the last podcast, your first crush was further down the age line.
Well, not much. Probably about 12 was when I first noticed some of the girls. Well, similar to you, like first school, primary school that I was in was the people in my year. There was me and there were maybe 30 of us in total. And because he'd been with them for the whole of primary school, it was that little bit weird thing where it was like, they're like my sister, kind of, just because you've grown up with them. And then when so year 7 is I went to the big school, but that pulled from several primary schools in the area, so that opened up my eyes to the range of possibilities.
The swathes of girls that were... there's no way of making it sound good.
There's no way to do it, no.
Nope.
Not at all. So, at the end of the primary school, age probably about 11 or 12, that's when I first was looking around at my classmates going, oh yeah, no, she is pretty. And then when I got to secondary school, then I was more interested in more of the ladies. Yeah. But I brought this point up last time. I feel like I shouldn't even reference the last time. I brought this point up before that at that age, like your horizons aren't that wide. So, like you said, this girl who was the focal point of everybody's attention because she was the hot one. But that's just the one girl out of 20 girls that you actually know. Yeah. So the point is you're not really making a choice so much as it's not like you're not really making a choice so much as just doing what everybody else is doing. And a choice of one is not really a choice, is it?
Unlike American presidential choices, which is completely wide open.
Yeah, completely wide open. You could be anybody can be president. I am told.
As can be evidenced.
As can be
Very
evidenced.
distinct.
Yeah, that's true. So my point was that You might start noticing girls at a young age, but again, because you don't really know many people, unless, I don't know, maybe you're a young go-getter, you've been travelling Europe and the world from a tender age, you've been meeting young ladies of all walk of life.
To be fair, when I was 9, I from about the age of 5, I was going abroad basically every year. So, I mean, technically...
Were you making love connections around the globe?
There with my rolled up cigarettes in one hand, my beret on my head.
Beret, your black slim cigarillo. Yes, I'm a well-travelled young man.
There in Orlando, Florida. That's looking cracking.
Were you putting on the Yorkshire accent to impress the ladies?
I was far more Yorkshire when I was young. I grew out of it and became the well-rounded vocalist you will hear before you now.
The erudite gentleman that you are today.
I learned everything I know from Alec Guinness. Do you know who Alec Guinness is? Is that in your wheelhouse? You're aware of that?
He's actually a popular actor. Known beyond merely The Simpsons.
Well, I'm gonna link this podcast to the Mickey Rooney fan club, and they're gonna tear you a new one, Olaf. They're gonna rip you open.
I will be glad to have the listeners.
All publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Do you remember your first celebrity crush? Like the first sort of woman or person that you saw that was, a famous person. Like, they're nice. I like them.
So, about the time when, early teens, when you're meant to start... Well, I say meant. when these things start to develop, I didn't have much we didn't have the internet in our house. We didn't have MTV. So who was there to crush on?
Yeah.
All the kids at school were talking about their favourite singer or whatever that they fancied. I was like, I have no idea what that person looks like. I can hear him on the radio, but no.
Everyone probably under the age of about, say, 25 was just like, what? You didn't have the internet. What is MTV? What are these? I know.
Showing my age once more.
What are these odd things you talk about?
Mm-hmm. Mine were a little bit strange. Would you like to hear one of them, which I still stand by, because I think, just amazing.
Well, let me guess. So, what age were you for this first crush?
I think when I first realised I had a crush on her, it was early into secondary school, so 13, 14, something like that. But that does not in any way reflect on this person.
Let me use a little bit more probing. I'm gonna yes.
Said the vicar to the choir boy.
Ooh. I'm going to assume it was an actress?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And from what you were saying there, I'm guessing it's an actress who was obviously older than yourself. It wasn't a young...
you would be correct.
Yeah. Comedy actress. Or what you noticed her in was a comedy.
Yes. This is very good.
Oh, I'm going to take a stab at Friends.
Which is why you don't have many. No, it wasn't Friends.
Oh. Well, you should really go into stand-up. You'd be really good at it.
Thanks, man.
I've got connections.
Oh, really? Hook me up.
Not Friends, so a comedy.
Go on, who did you fancy in Friends?
It kind of changed.
Did it depend on the season?
Yeah. For the first few, it was Phoebe. And then for like the middling, so probably between 1 and 3 or 1 and 2 is probably Phoebe, and then kind of 3ish to 7ish, it was probably Rachel. I mean, they were all very and still are very good looking.
They were, yeah.
But it was then Rachel was on top. And towards the end it was Monica, apart from in the 10th series when she got pregnant and she got weird pregnancy jowls. I went back to Rachel.
Mm-hmm. I didn't want to fancy Rachel because I felt like you were meant to.
Yeah.
She was meant to be like the slightly ditzy but the pretty one of the group. I'm like, casting a pretty one out of, American actresses, good luck. Because they're all pretty much very pretty. Okay, go on.
Anyway,
so,
still trying to
not
figure
Friends.
out. Right, so this is from a female from a comedy series, which is based on this 20 years ago, so 1998 or thereabouts. British comedy?
Yes, British comedy,
British comedy. Ooh. Was it an all-female comedy?
No. Where were you going with that?
Do you remember Smack the Pony?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. And she's British, obviously.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. So British. She would be brunette?
No.
No? Okay. Blonde?
Yeah, where are we? Okay. I want to know where your mind goes to when you ask these questions. Like, who is he thinking of?
I'm playing late 90s comedy female Guess Who.
Okay, well, there is your mistake, because the show isn't from the late 90s.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it The Good Life?
It is The Good Life.
Oh, is it Felicity Kendall?
It's Felicity Kendall.
Oh.
She's absolutely gorgeous in The Good Life.
She's even still now.
Even still, right?
Yeah.
So,
that is yes, that is a very good show.
Yep.
So.
For those who are maybe not quite aware, Felicity Kendall in The Good Life plays a woman who is married to Tom. Like, Tom and Barbara Good have...
Barbara. I knew it was Tom. I couldn't remember her name. In it.
They have such a lovely relationship with each other. Felicity Kendall, she looks cracking in overalls. And
it is that thing. She didn't need to. She never had to wear anything skimpy, but there's just something there about her.
Yeah, something about her in dungarees and wellies. I was like, filth. Because in that show there was also the kind of rich neighbours.
I was going to say, how did you ever have a thing for Margot at all?
Margot, not really. And I saw her, the actress. I can't remember her name, unfortunately. I remember her in that, and in another show called To the Manor Born.
Yeah.
Where she played a fairly seriously showing our age.
I'm gonna hit up the 40-year-olds on Twitter to listen to this episode.
Yeah, kids, get your mum, get her to listen to us talking about this one, because
she'll explain all the references.
In fact, get your dad as
well.
well.
On
he
pause,
probably fancied
and
Barbara.
they could be like, well.
That classic conversation: Barbara or Margot. Anyway, in To a Manor Born, she played pretty much the same sort of character, and I could see she's a good-looking woman, but nah,
she had a scary vibe about her, and that was like Margot, not Barbara. There was no Barbara. Barbara was like the shining light. She was she was pure, and I still believe Felicity Kendall is pure. Damn it.
She's definitely not. She's pure filth is what she is. So
how dare you?
Barbara was the kind of cheeky, playful, kind of energetic one. Margot was the stern, she would be a dominatrix, is what she would be. Yeah, I'm like, if she chose to allow you into her boudoir, there would be certain rules. Yeah, and okay, there's a time and place for that, but I reckon Barbara will be a lot of fun.
That is really interesting. Because my first celebrity that's first celebrity crush. That was when I started smoking weed with Kevin Smith. And then I woke up and realised it was a dream. It was very sad. My first celebrity crush, it was pretty generic, really, in comparison. Like, I think my first celebrity crush is very stock for people of my age.
Should we just do a Google image search for celebrity crush 30-year-olds? See what comes up.
I would think that you could probably get it within.
I'm going to guess guesses. It was Pamela Anderson.
You got it in one. It was indeed, yes.
Yeah, that sounds. I think I'm cheating a little bit because I think you may have mentioned this before.
I did mention it.
But there's definitely something appealing. I don't know what it is, but something that men are kind of attracted to about her. I don't know what. Especially in the 90s television shows.
Still never been able to figure it out.
I mean, the amount of research I've put into trying to figure it out. I go back and I watch those shows repeatedly. I pay very close attention to her performance. Performance. And I still can't figure it out. I don't know why people like her so much.
Weird. She's just obviously got something about her.
Something about her. Do you still fancy Pamela Anderson?
Yeah, there is still some. I mean, I can... Like, the flaws are there, but there's still just something, when I see her, that just harkens me right back. And I go, yeah, I mean, yeah. For nostalgia's sake, I would.
For nostalgia's sake. Your 14-year-old libido just like pricks up its ears. Like, Pamela?
Prick.
Yeah. Well, okay, yep, fair enough.
And I think we both still would with Felicity. We've both made that very clear.
Oh, absolutely. If she, especially in dungarees, couldn't.
Oh, Barbara, peekaboo dungarees. My, when did you get those? Oh, I see you've been harvesting the cucumbers again. Oh, yeah, this really is the good life. Whoa.
I'm going to watch The Good Life tonight.
Violently masturbate.
Only when Barbara's on the screen. Tom was a lucky man.
This is different to last time.
That was a weird face you were pulling.
Yeah. I do those sometimes. Do you, perchance... Oh, well, maybe you never did. But would you recall the first female that you... I hesitate to use the word obsessed over.
How to phrase this? How to phrase it?
But the first girl that you kind of, again, they're all only negative words. I'm coming up with obsessed, fixated.
I do remember. I don't know if it was the first, but one celebrity that I kind of crushed on real hard for a little while was. I can't remember who it was. I think it was when I was at. This might have been in sixth form or probably. I think I saw her in a movie, and then we had the internet by this time, so I could I looked her up online, found out a little bit more about her, and the more I read about this person, the more I fancied her. So I had the initial physical attraction of going, "Whoa, she's hot," and then read all these other things about how she was an amazing person, did a lot of stuff for charity, gave away a load of money, and had also, because of her Israeli upbringing, had spent 2 years in the army, which a national service is still a thing in Israel. You spent 2 years so she could definitely kick my ass, which for some reason is just even more hot. So I was crushing on her real hard. I've given you plenty of clues. I'm not sure if I was pretty vague, but go on, give us a guess.
Oh,
she started her acting career very young.
Natalie Portman.
There you go.
Yeah,
Natalie goddamn Portman. Yeah. Mm-hmm. This might have, I don't know if it was about the time of the first Star Wars movie where she was completely slumming it. But I still think she's really good looking, and I appreciate her as an actor and a person, and just she's very hot.
So did you ever have a... Well, I'll tell you what, we'll come back to that. My version of that. So it was TV based rather than film. My crush.
Okay.
It must be. So it started in 1997, but I don't think it started here until 1998 when it was on BBC Two. Okay. Sort of comedy, drama, horror. It kind of mixed a lot of genres together. She played a high school student. Can you guess it off that?
I think I'm there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would the director of this have been Mr. Whedon?
Indeed.
Mr. Joss
Whedon.
Weed off. So now I need to know which actress it was.
Oh.
Was it the lead actor?
It was indeed the lead.
So it was Sarah Michelle Gellar in Buffy.
Yes, very much so. She was at one point. I assume in your internet trawlings you would have come across the category of faked celebs.
I'm aware, if not a connoisseur.
And the occasional food food croto shopping.
Food croto shopping.
Spoonerisms. Delightful. Crude photoshopping of celebrity faces upon the bodies of the stars of porn. And yeah, at one point, I remember, like yourself, I did some digging, and this must have been about, probably 2001, because I got the internet in 2000, and then porn came into my life.
Then porn came into
yeah,
very, very strongly. Emphasis on the came.
And yeah, I remember, just looking for it. And she, at one point, she was the most faked celeb in all the lands. She was. I think for me, maybe it was like a powerful female thing. I don't know, but there's just something about her.
About her kicking ass.
Yeah, she was a kick-ass woman, and she was funny, but she could also be vulnerable. And damn it, Angel didn't deserve her, because he was just a gosh-darn son of a gun. He was always so damn moody. Although I seem to have based my life on him, so...
Moody son of a gun, are you?
Yeah, can't allow myself to be happy. Bad things will happen. Ooh.
Cheer up, you miserable spod.
If only Buffy would have said that, everything would have been a lot better.
I think she did other stuff to cheer him up. See, I never really got into Buffy.
Right.
Yeah, not through lack of trying, because I'd have loved to have gotten into Buffy. But I had a thing for her little dorky librarian friend, who was also the dorky friend in American Pie, Miss Alison Hannigan.
What is really weird is, when I went to university, there was a girl on the on the
called Alison Hannigan,
the opposite side of halls, who was you may have heard of them. They're called a lesbian.
I think I understand. Yeah,
I've heard they come from the Isle of Sapphos. That's a very good.
It's a really good historical reference.
You pause it here, guys.
It's a really good, historical and literary reference. That's really good.
Quick Google Isle of Sapphos and just kind of deep dive into it, and just
deep dive into the Sapphic Isles.
Yeah. Cool. Back? Yeah, we're back. Cool. And this lesbian, she had an insane, one of those things where it's borderline psychotic obsession with Alison Hannigan, but not necessarily Alison Hannigan, with the character Willow in Buffy, because obviously it turned out later on in the series that she was gay, she was a lesbian.
She's gay, yeah.
And it just became this. She had not a shrine, but she had posters of her all over. And
I did hear that she became basically a gay icon because of it. Yeah, which is it's kind of understandable to have, because it was definitely a mainstream show. Yeah. She's a very attractive woman, and have strong gay character representation at that kind of point in TV as well.
And having it not be. A lot of time when you've got a gay character, their characteristic is that they are gay.
Is that they're the gay one,
That is what they are. They have no nuance, and it's just...
Yeah.
Oh, here's a character, they will flounce. Here's a lesbian character, they will be butch. Whereas her and Tara, and then... Well, the relationship of her and Tara was just essentially a quote-unquote straight relationship, as it were. It was treated as normal, and it was not intrinsic to either of their characters that they were lesbian. That wasn't the basis of their characters. They were just two characters who happened to be lesbian. What I didn't like was that I think it was in the last series, there just seems to be this kind of shoehorned in, because Tara's dead, spoilers, and the world's going to end, there's the big bad, and they're training new Slayers to be their army. And one of these new Slayers is a lesbian. And it just seems to get just sort of randomly shoehorned in. All of a sudden, Alison Hannigan / Willow just becomes this hornball who's hot for this younger girl who's also hot for her. And they just start it just kind of removed everything. It became more of a teenage schoolboy fantasy version rather than... they are lesbians, but that's a side note. They're also an amazing witch and incredibly intelligent. It just became cool. Yeah, no, they're in a men's merchant, but lesbians. There you go. Oh my god, they're both really hard. They're lesbian. Oh.
Right.
Mm.
That's a shame.
So to go back, that was a lovely introspective on our opinions on Buffy, or my opinions on Buffy anyway.
Yeah.
Come back next week for the next Buffy review.
Where we'll follow up with the follow-up series, Angel. What does his hair choice colour tell us about his state of mind?
I do have Angel on DVD as well as Buffy, and also Firefly. Of course, I do. Come on.
Fuck yeah, Firefly.
I don't have, and I've never seen. Oh, what was the one that he did with Eliza Dushku on her own?
Dollhouse.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
No, me neither. Did not do well. In fact, it seems that there's. I've heard this theory. There's kind of like an alternating pattern in TV series you do. Buffy, very well received. Angel, Firefly, very well received, but didn't get continued. Dollhouse, meh. Don't know if it carries over to the films. Probably not.
Well, let's not go into Joss Whedon right now.
Let's not go into Whedon right now. We haven't got time.
We'll do a whole different Whedonverse episode. We'll probably get Jenga involved in that, because I think he was something of a fan.
Yeah, from what I recall.
Looping
back, you were going to look back.
I was going to look back. So that was the kind of first, again, poorly phrased, but obsessional crush.
Yeah.
Did you ever have that kind of level of crush on a real, as it were, girl? A female who you could...
A real person who I could interact with.
Yeah. A human who was nearby. Did you ever have like that? Which, whether it was reciprocated or not, like a lusting in your hormonal years.
My younger hormonal years. Do you know, I don't think I did. When I was younger, I was much more outgoing than I am now. And people who see me randomly might think that's a bit strange to say. But yes, that's right. I was more outgoing than I am now. So I just had basically no filter a lot of the time. So if I wanted to go and talk to someone, I would just go and talk to them.
Right, okay.
I kind of miss it, to be honest. Yeah. But another part of me realises that there's quite a lot of that kind of attitude, which is very dickheadedness. Dickheadedness? Yeah, it makes you look like a prick. And that's fine when you're 14 or 15, because basically everybody's a prick at that age. But if I actually want to interact with people and have a decent response, it's more... I don't know. Dialed back on being a dickhead is probably a good advice.
But I'm guessing that based on the previous podcast we did where we mentioned about losing our virginity, that the interactions that you had with people, were they in any way kind of like, hey, let's go on a date? Or was it just like...
No, I just went and talked to them.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, because I think even at that age, I didn't like the idea of the sleazeball who just walks up and goes, hey, you and me should date, baby.
You and me, down at the disco, what you say?
Yeah. I see big things in your future, girl. My penis.
6 inches is big, right? I have no means of comparison.
I have no frame of reference. I'm sorry, I don't even know. Did you lust from afar?
Yes, I did. Seems to be like something I do in life. I seem to focus on people sometimes. Maybe I have a problem.
Maybe you spy someone and then you yearn for them.
But yeah, the very first one that I remember was a young lady with a very exotic name of Naya Darby. And yeah, she wasn't that same kind of queen bee, as it were, like hottest girl in school sort of thing. I think she was generally regarded as, in the upper echelons of attractiveness.
In the top bracket.
As it were. I'm sure in FIFA World Cup terms, one may call her seeded, but we'll leave that for now. From what I remember, she did definitely get seeded.
I'm gonna jump ahead here and make an assumption. Not by you?
Yes, no, not by me. I'm fairly certain that she had a child in her teens, from what I recall, because it started. We were in the same middle school and upper school, and my noticing of her was in the middle school, and that's where I kind of had it. It was for probably about between 6 and 12 months, I was like, heavily crushing on her.
Yeah.
But the reverse to yourself. When I was younger, was just totally shut down, like shy as. Would barely even talk to teachers. Wouldn't put my hand up. I was making friends, talking to people super hard. They would always have to be the one to instigate with me. Whereas now, I still don't like going up to people. I wouldn't just go over to someone and start randomly talking. But if someone said to me, "Oh, can you go over and talk to that person? They need to do this," I would have no issues with doing it. Whereas when I was probably up to the age of about 16, maybe 18, if someone would have said to me, "Oh, go up to that person and ask them to do this," I just like, I can't do it. Nope, can't. Nope. I cannot broach. And now I do la comedy. How the times have changed.
And now you do the going up to people and making fun of them as they eat dinner.
Yeah. Yeah. I infer that they are eating poo-poo. Comedy gold.
It's an icebreaker. What do you need?
I get involved with floppy-haired young men. Get them to come hold my hand for free.
What?
Beautiful Tom.
Beautiful Tom. Oh, that's right. He was holding your hand while you were telling your story.
As an 18, well, say whatever, 16-year-old. No way would I have done that. No way I could have been like, "Oh, you have to come from. I'm going to make fun of you. Let's play act together." Not a chance. And now I can do it on a whim.
So, do you think if you had the cojones you have now as a younger man, would you have gone and said hello to Nia Darby?
The chutzpah. Yeah, probably.
Did you ever go and say hi? Did you ever interact with her? Did you have a maths class that you stared across the classroom at her?
Yeah, weirdly, I don't know why I remember this, but I remember talking to her in a music lesson. Oh, and that brings me on to another topic. So yeah, I crushed on her for, like I said, 6 months, about a year. We did briefly talk, but yeah, it did that thing. It fizzled out. Now, thinking of that music lesson reminded me, the music teacher in my middle school was called Mrs. Grace, and she was the epitome. When I look back, she was the epitome of, when you just have the one female teacher in school who is just a little bit better looking than the others, and she becomes the one.
Oh, okay. The teacher crush.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
She was my first teacher crush. I can vividly remember that. It just literally thinking about that music lesson, it came flooding back to me there. And that would go on I remember as well, in upper school, we had a substitute teacher for chemistry.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
A substitute chemistry teacher.
Her name was Miss Darby, I'm pretty sure.
No relation.
Yeah. And yeah, she was the not long out of university.
Oh.
And so that was, and obviously I was a little bit older then, so that'll be about 15 years old. Mm-hmm. So that was hormones, explosions.
And there's that small part of your mind that's this is attainable.
Yeah. She's only 6 or 7 years older than me. That's not that big a gap. I've read news stories about stuff like this.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we didn't have the teacher crush at our school. There was one teacher who was a humanities teacher. She was she did history and RE, I think, but only because they forced her to do RE. But she was the kind of cool younger teacher. She's like the cool aunt.
Yeah.
Of the family. You don't fancy her, but you'd kind of like to hang out with her.
Yeah.
So she would she'd talk about Buffy during her lessons or whatever, and she would just make fun of all the world religions when she was meant to be teaching us RE. That was kind of cool. Teacher crush.
I do also remember. It's all coming flooding back to me now. But
there's a song there, isn't there?
Yeah.
I'm sure there is.
My hormones are all coming flooding back to me now.
Quick, get a towel.
Can also be used as an excellent advert for HRT.
Oh! Ouch! Good Lord.
I'm a funny man.
Well, at least you think so.
Yeah, someone's got to. Someone's got to laugh at my shit jokes, and if it ain't going to be me, then it's a bad sign.
That's true as well, I suppose.
So I remember we had, in our upper school, we were made to do dance as part of PE, because that's what boys want to do, dancing. And I remember the dance teacher was called, well, it was either Miss or Mrs. Doble. And I vividly remember, because she was a smaller breasted lady, and it had its own dance studio, and it was not particularly well heated, and she would not wear a bra, she would wear lycra, and I can vividly remember I would spend a good portion of those dance lessons just quite, most likely exceptionally, like I'm 100% people noticed, or at least she will have, because maybe the other lads were as well, but like there was nipples there, and I was just lost in them. Sometimes.
Lost in the nipple.
Yeah.
We've all been there. They're very eye-catching and distracting.
Sometimes if they're too long, they can be definitely eye-catching. And oh,
they turn around too quickly and take your eye out.
Oh, like being prodded in the eye by a finger. Oh,
with no nail. Unless, it's
all gone wrong. Oh, you're a horrible mix-up.
Well, I think we've successfully covered the topic of our younger hormonal libidos. Go on.
It's definitely made me want to masturbate again now.
I'm gonna stream 4 separate instances of Barbara Good from The Good Life on my on my monitor here. I'm gonna have 4 different windows, different episodes on, and I'm just gonna
whack away.
Yeah. I'm not gonna stop going till I lose half a pint.
Barbara, look what I got from the bull.
Ew.
Oh dear.
I brought you some of my homegrown fruit. So, veering away from this topic of conversation, you also wanted me to remind you about the cookie giveaway contest. Or some such nonsense. Is it worth delving into this?
Yeah.
While I have a schlurple of my drink.
Schlurple of the purple. I hope you're drinking Vimto, otherwise that'll make no sense.
It is actually apple and blackcurrant squash.
We can say it was Vimto.
It's Vimto.
Yeah, it's Vimto for all intents and purposes.
Would Vimto by any other name taste as good? The answer is yes.
I might see if Vimto has got a Twitter and just tag them in.
Tag them in.
Like, hey, sponsorship.
We'll drink Vimto on stream.
Yeah.
Oh,
I did. We'll purposely sign up to Twitch just so we can drink Vimto there for you.
Yeah. Just for that advertising for you. This drink sure is refreshing. I've got here. Would you like to see the name I've got on the label? That's right. It's a ripe Vimto.
It's Morrison's own brand. It's Vimto. Cool.
I did have a thought earlier that we should do one of these podcasts when we are having cool, refreshing beverages, just to see how insane, like off the rails, we actually get.
By cool, refreshing beverages, would you mean cool, refreshing, lascivious beverages?
Yes, I would. I would mean that.
Which may impair our faculties.
I feel like we should, encourage the meandering part.
But what would happen if we got so lascivious that we just started just kissing, just making out, just going for it?
Well then, not Twitch perhaps, but maybe put that up on Chatterbait or...
Get straight on the old Omegle and just
straight on Omegle, yeah. See what happens. I hear this place called RedTube will take any kind of video. Plus they monetize, so cash dollars, man. Or at least maybe $1 or $2. Yeah.
I'm having a fairly awful time at work, so I could do with some of that porn money right about now. Whatever I got to do to get out of that place, that'll do me just fine.
Do you want to vent about your work life?
We will do that on another occasion.
All right.
But we will come back to that. Oh, don't you worry, guys. You're going to hear all about horrible work times. You thought it was bad before. Honeys, it got worse. You
ain't heard nothing yet.
Oh, baby. You just ain't heard nothing yet. Duh.
And see, that's what we call like a two-parter. That gets them interested. They'll listen next time.
There's potential bad morning. Oh, draw me in. Oh,
do I want to hear why his life is so terrible? Yes, I do. Tune in next time.
Sweet, sweet nectar of another man's pain.
I'm so glad that ended with pain.
Barbara!
Barbara! The sweet nectar of another man's... Pain
Yes.
is...
Anyway,
the cookie
giveaway.
Back onto the topic. Yeah.
I thought, hey, I always see these things that are obviously done to encourage listener interaction, which is like, hey, like actual play podcasts, you know what they are, right?
Actual what?
Actual play podcasts, which basically where they do like a D&D or equivalent sort of.
Oh, right.
It's called an actual play. Like they're basically, it's done as if it's like a radio drama or something akin. So they basically play the Dungeons and Dragons or whatever it is they play.
Yeah.
And that is what they do for their
That's
podcast.
their podcast.
They have series of it. So when it's done, that's the end of the series. And yeah, they do I'm not really into them. Although there is one that I do listen to regularly, which is a very big supporter of our show, which is known as Force Majeure Pod, and I would heartily recommend. Again, I've tried listening to lots of different ones. They've never really sunk in, but maybe it's because I have such a goodwill towards them that
maybe
I listened to them, and I thought it was very good. I did offer to provide voice work. They've given me nothing.
Did they say we'll call you?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh.
But yeah, I would remember Force Majeure Pod. You can find it on Libsyn, I believe, or you find them on Twitter or on Facebook.
Link in the description.
Maybe
If we remember.
if I can go to that level of catering to them, we'll see.
Maybe.
Anyway, cookie giveaway. So, yeah, interactive, get users on board, something, I don't know. So, what my idea is we've got the email address, meanderthalic, meanderthalic @gmail.com. I made it and I had to think about it. That is where you can always send us anything to interact with us, suggestions, ideas, just general abuse.
General abuse.
We are on Twitter at @le_Neanderthals because the Neanderthals was taken, so was the _Neanderthals and everything in between. So I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll make it seem really classy and French.
I'll be classy and continental.
Le Neanderthal. Oh, très bon. And obviously you can find us on the Facebooks, the Neanderthals, and there is obviously the comment sections on the YouTubes and on the Podbeans and also on the Apple podcasts. I do not know if we have actually had any comments there because Apple's podcast interface is fucking horrible. It's a really bad UI for
the creators.
Yeah, it's just not.
So if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, maybe just tweet us instead.
Yeah, I mean, what you could do is comment and maybe just take a picture of the comment. But basically,
okay,
and send it to us. But what I'm hoping is that get in touch with us. And if you can provide us with an idea or some kind of feedback on how we're doing or what you'd want us to talk about, or hey, maybe you'd like to be a guest. I'm always open to getting new people on board.
He tells his wife this every week. Sorry.
Round of applause. People in the back.
Oh.
He, unlike me, he nailed it right there.
Ew.
So if you get in touch with us, and anybody that gets in touch, I will put their names or their Twitter handles or whatever into some manner of hat or sock, not crusty, hopefully.
Some receptacle for mixing.
Yeah, maybe the wife. I don't know. And I'll dig around in there, in the receptacle, not the wife. Well, I might dig around the wife.
Well, maybe that.
And I shall pull out. Let's
Phrasing.
Hit the button. Hit the button. Hit the button.
Hit the phrasing button.
I shall...
Withdraw?
No.
I shall pick?
Yes, I shall pick a minimum of 2, a maximum of several.
Nice and vague.
Yeah. Names, Twitter handles, whatever. And if your name is chosen, I'm going to send you a cookie. It's as simple as that.
I like it.
I will choose the cookie. So, there's the luck of the draw there. But it's a guaranteed cookie. I cannot guarantee it will be in one piece when it gets to you.
By the time it gets to you, yeah.
But I will take all due care and attention to try and protect it as much as I can and keep it, fresh.
Relatively cookie-like.
So, yeah. So
Can I ask then, is this going to be a homemade cookie made with the sweat of your brow?
There may not be brow sweat. There may be some other things in it. Bob. What? Look, they wouldn't know. Yeah.
No. This is a good point, actually. Yeah, if it turns up and it's a rather damp or soggy kind of biscuit that arrives, probably.
Yeah.
Probably from us, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably a guarantee.
Yeah, you're at work one day and somebody's like, "Oh yeah, parcel for you, Jim," and you're like, "Oh yeah, thanks, man," and you open it up and there's a cookie inside it, covered in some kind of frosting or icing, perhaps.
And you'll take it out and you'll be like, "Oh, well, this is subpar and not as good as they promised on Twitter." Just like their podcast. It must be from them.
And then you'll know it's from us.
Yeah.
And you can enjoy munching on it while you listen to us on the drive home. I found out a couple of my drinking buddies have been listening to us while they drive.
I do that as well because, I...
Get those numbers up.
Yeah, well, I just for sort of quality assurance purposes, I will...
A bit of QC.
I'll upload, and then when I'm walking the dog or driving to work or whatever, I'll listen to it, and then I'll try and do it within 24 hours, so I know if there's anything bad. Or fucked up.
Yeah, we can fix it.
So I will always listen to our new episodes within 24 hours so I can make sure that there's been no administratorial cock-ups.
Cock-ups, administrative or otherwise.
Cock-ups, brackets, administrative.
Administrative, brackets, bureaucratic, brackets.
We have many subdivisions.
We have many subdivisions of cock-up, yeah. Alphabetical orders of cock-up.
So yeah, just remember,
upward cocks.
Ideas, offers of guesting, suggestions for topics, general feedback.
Feedback.
I/we will accept DMs, messages, comments, posts, anything through the email, through the Twitter, through the comments, through the
Get
Facebooks.
yourself a free cookie. Free cookies, people. Who doesn't love a free cookie?
In this capitalist society, everybody's got to pay for cookies, but you might not have to.
All you'll have to do is share your thoughts.
Yeah, thanks to
and
old
you could get a free
Hefty
cookie.
Cleft and Olaf Bath Time. Well, not really Olaf Bath Time. I'm paying for it. It's my,
Cookie time?
Cookie time. Enjoy yourselves with cookie time. But for now, we shall end this leaving those cookie tunes ringing in your ears.
Indeed, yeah.
From me, Hefty Cleft.
And I, Olaf Bath Time.
We shall bid you a hopefully cookie-based future. Adieu.
Was that a question? Adieu?
Exactly, it's like the end. Sequel. Plus, you're going to be back next time to listen to how.
Oh yeah! Don't forget to tune in next time for the old misery of of Hefty's work life.
Yeah. So no matter what, you're coming back. I know it. You know it. Bye.
Bye bye.